Yo, what is up guys, and welcome back to Minecraft Cobblemon. What better way to start the episode than by catching our first shiny in the wild, a shiny Bidoof, the god of Pokemon. Yeah, that was not really planned. I was just exploring and creative for what would be the bulk of this episode, as you can see here in the chat though, so you know it's legit. But what we're doing today is catching Zacian. And so what I've done is I've compiled a bunch of sped up clips of me going to rune sites to find it. I found out, unfortunately, that shortly after my explorations of the Lunahenge ruin sites, that getting the rusted sword to summon Zacian is not even legitimately acquirable. It's not actually in the mod packs that I have installed. Like, there's no way to actually get it like a legit way. And so I basically had to rely on an external mod pack like 2 days into my hunt, which I discovered today, 2 days after catching Zacian. So this is like all in the past now, that it wasn't even compatible in the first place. Because I have some other mods, I guess, going on. I don't know if it's because of legendary encounters with legendary monuments. I have no idea what caused all of this, but basically the external add-on mod pack I got so that you can make the rusted sword acquirable via runes is it doesn't work with my world. And so I spent all this time grinding trying to find it, just for it to not actually be obtainable unless you go into creative. So this was really frustrating for me. It's why I haven't uploaded. I've been doing this entire time. To be fully transparent, I'm talking like like 2 days straight, no breaks. Sorry, excuse the fly trap in the background. I'll probably cut that out. But yeah, so that's the situation. I am a little irritated because the person that developed this, here's a Gyarados I found in the wild, and I wanted to include it in the video. And then I found a Chespin's evolution. I was like, that's cool. But anyways, we move on now to the Rune Castle. Sorry, not Rune Castle, what am I saying? We move on to an ancient city that my girlfriend actually found. So I came down there in front of Spiritomb. I was like, hell yeah, looted this thing real quick. So that was a little side hustle. You'll see what spawns in here. It was very interesting. It's very reminiscent of a prior episode. You'll see what I mean. But anyways, I was a little irritated because the person that developed this extra mod pack that like gives you all these like add-ons for recipes for items that aren't legitimately acquirable via survival, told me to go look at Solhenge ruins. So I was looking there the entire time, and then she told me today, oh, she was mistaken. It was actually like Lunahenge ruins, but I was looking at Lunahenge ruins too with no luck. Why no luck? Well, because even if the rusted sword was compatible to acquire, like some of the other recipes that are in her add-on are acquirable, like I can craft them and stuff, but for the rusted sword it's found via suspicious gravel, so it's not the same. You can't craft that, you know what I mean? So anyways, she told me she was mistaken, and it's actually found in Lunahenge and not even Solhenge ruins. So like, it was just like, rubbed me the wrong way. I'm like, really, dude? Like, I just wasted all this time. Like, nice one. It's just really annoying. And so you'll see later in the episode, so that I can acquire Zacian, I just go and grab it in creative because it's literally impossible for me to get it in survival. And if it was possible, by the way, she made the spawn rate of the rusted sword from Suspicious Gravel a 1.5% chance, a whopping 1.5% chance. So as you can imagine, that could take a while. I think I looked at like 20 something rune sites total. And just to confirm, like being like dead ass, like I don't even know, like I said, if the mod pack was properly working or not. I get the impression that, the add-on was even working. I don't think it was. So like I was completely wasting my time. I say that because after downloading the extra add-on pack, Suspicious Gravel started giving me nothing. Like not like rustic, like not like no like a shitty item. I mean like literally nothing. Like it would give me like no item. And before I download the add-on, I think for Suspicious Gravel you get an item like 100% of the time. You get something, whether it be like a Goldango coin. But enough of that. As you can see here, another Alpha Hydreigon spawned, which was pretty insane. We got Hydreigon v Hydreigon. So I have 2 of them now because I catch it first try with the best item in the entire game, the Quick Ball. So I have the Apricorn farm running as well. It's allowing me to craft some. Not as efficient as I would have hoped, but yeah. And here's me killing some Zweilous, and I got a shard there, which is really nice because my favorite Pokemon I want to hunt in this world, the Reshiram and Zekrom duo, are required via those scales. I also found out that the Entrepreneur Villager does exist the villager that some call him the shady villager, the villager that basically sells us maps to find these legendary structures. Because thus far, as you'll see in this episode, I do find some structures, but they're not via map. It was just me exploring, finding rune sites. I explored so many thousands and thousands of blocks that I was bound to come across a couple monuments. So I did. I actually found a second Zacian monument. I don't show that in the video because it just wasn't really necessary, but you'll see I do find some really interesting stuff. I'm excited for that to be showcased. Right now, you can just see I was going mining once more. Not really intentionally, I just found myself down here and there were a ton of diamonds, and because I have fortune that I found from a village, yeah, it's pretty great. I will say the village add-on is insane because there are like a million villages, and I just saw from the official Cobblemon TikTok, actually their account, they're adding some insane shit, guys. Like, I am so excited for the future of Cobblemon. They're adding towns, villages that are themed based upon like different gym leaders. Like, there's gonna be actual gyms, actual trainer NPCs, like actual NPCs in the world. Like, Cobblemon in 2 years, for example, from now is gonna be a completely different game, probably with like some kind of like story like woven into it in some shape or form. But from what I saw, like, there's gonna be like towns with like windmill designs. There's gonna be like a big floating drift bloom, blimp, and like all kinds of different thematic stuff for like different villages and towns that you can find. These towns and villages that Cobblemon itself plans to add, as opposed to an add-on mod, look insane. Like, it looks very polished. I'm super excited. Unfortunately, I'm not sure how that's gonna work if I download that in conjunction with here's a Darmanitan. I thought this was so sick that I had to go fight it and catch it. But I'm not sure how that's gonna work if I have the add-ons already. Like, it's gonna be a clusterfuck, excuse my language. Like, for example, I have the gyms add-on, and that shit is just a mess. Like, I turned it off. I don't even want to deal with it. There's like a million gyms that spawn all over the place. I don't want any part in it because I decided I'm not here to fight gyms. I'm really here to catch legendaries. Like, that's what I want to do with this playthrough. So, for example, I'm saying with the official Cobblemon update down the line, I'm wondering if that's gonna cause some kind of issues. The good news is I can always just make a new world, I guess, and then maybe just like, I don't know, like transfer over the Pokemon I caught here that I want. I don't really know. I wish there was a way where I could like remove the structures that I've already generated and then like replace them with like the Cobblemon structures themselves down the line, but I don't think you can do that. But anyways, here's one of the monuments I found, which is really interesting, what we will be doing in the next episode actually. So spoiler alert, we found the first Reggie monument, the Reggie Steel monument. It was just right here, and right behind it actually was another Zacian monument, the second one I found. But like I said, we get into that a bit later. I thought this was super cool, so I got it down. It is now a waypoint, and we will be heading back here, like I said, next episode to catch it, because my goal is to catch every single legendary and mythical that is part of the Legendary Monuments add-on, so super hyped for that. Unfortunately, no Groudon or Kyogre, so maybe or Rayquaza actually, so maybe I'll download a separate add-on for just those Pokemon. I'm not sure if that exists, because it seems like every legendary add-on has like an abundance of add-ons. And I just realized, like, through the Legendary Encounters mod, which I had on, I don't think it was actually working. It was basically like this thing that it's like you just spawn the legendaries, and like some mythicals will just spawn if you're really lucky. But it didn't seem to be working for me. Like, I realized, like, I don't think this is actually active. So I just turned it off. Here's another Soul Henge rune. As you can see, I try not to include all of it, but I wanted to show you all that I was grinding. It is not easy to find these things, guys. It is really difficult, because just because you find a taiga biome, which is where they spawn, you're not going to find one. Also, like I said, the woman who made the add-on was mistaken, and you don't even find them here. You find them at Luna Henge biomes, which are found in Savannah biomes. So this was just a huge waste of time, but I put in so much effort that I thought I deserved to have the Rusted Sword, and so it was much more justified. But anyways, I found a Mushroom Island. I found 2 actually in my exploration, and look at these Miltanks. They have custom sprites with like mushrooms growing out of their heads. I thought that was so cool that I had to catch one. Like, that was so creative. So I grabbed that, and then a bunch of like Amoonguss, like Shroomish, all the mushroom Pokemon were spawning here, which I thought was really funny. But yeah, here is the second monument that I found, or you could say island, the southern island, which was super freaking hype. Would have been nice to find this thing with a map, obviously, but like, hey, I found it. I saw this and I knew instantly something was up, because I'm like, why does this look so, what's the word? distinct from any kind of structure. I'm like, holy shit, this reminds me of Oraz, like Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, because this is Southern Island. So as you can see in the middle right here, there's a pedestal where you can choose to summon either Latios or Latios. Something that obviously I don't do this episode. You need to get the Pokeblock. You need to get some kind of Pokeblock thing before you can even do that. It's like a Poke Treat box or whatever, which you can only buy from the Entrepreneur Villager. So we don't even have access to that quite yet. As you can see, more grinding for the henge sites, which resulted in nothing. Funny, but I'm putting it in the video nonetheless, so I don't want to hear anything about, hey, you don't deserve to get that rusted sword. Yes, I do. It wasn't even, you can't even acquire it legitimately, and I still put in the work because I was just being stupid. So, yeah, I'm going to include this, and you're going to deal with it. And if you're dealing with it, thank you very much. I appreciate you, because I put a lot of effort into this video, even if it doesn't seem like it. It was tough, man. It was tough. My back was freaking hurting from sitting for so many hours just doing this bullshit. Yeah, the Southern Island, so you're going to have to find another Southern Island if you want to spawn Latios or Latios, because you can't spawn both there. The pedestal disappears after spawning the first one, I believe. At least that's what I thought, but after the Zacian monument, I think the pedestals were still there, so don't quote me on that. That's what I read somewhere in like a wiki, but I don't know, that might not be confirmed. But anyways, there's actually 2 chests hidden there, so I go back later with my girlfriend, and she found one chest, I found the other chest, and you'll see what you can find in the chest. It's really freaking sick. But I wanted to show me on camera crafting our first Mega Stone ever, so I did that, and we did it for Alakazam, because I've always loved Mega Alakazam. I've never used one before, and I was like, dude, I'm gonna do it in Cobblemon. So here you go. You give it to him, and then if you click K, or any other kind of bind for that matter, I think K is the default one, you can Mega Evolve him out of battle. So I was just staring at him for a little bit. I was like, holy shit, pretty sick. Also, we finally collected 9 Dream Strings, so I want to craft the Dreamcatcher on camera as well, because this is the first step towards getting Darkrai and Cresselia. So once you have a Dreamcatcher, anyways, look at, I think I'm just observing him. I believe I named our Alakazam Panda, because I asked my girlfriend what to name it. And she said Panda because she was talking about another Pokemon, but I thought it was funny because why would an Alakazam be named Panda? And so I just went with it. Anyways, if you get the Dreamcatcher and you put it on a roof, as you can see, I'm like trying to figure this out. And I'm like, oh, you had to hang it on the roof, like I was being a jackass. But there you go. If you do that, you get this like essence, this like sleep essence thing, as you can see in the top right corner. And so now when you go to bed, under this Dreamcatcher, so in this house, you have a chance at getting Nightmare Essence or like the Dream Essence, which basically like correspondingly craft a whistle to summon either Cresselia or Darkrai. Darkrai is my favorite mythical of all time, so that would be super hype. But anyways, I found the hidden chest back in Southern Island. I was going back to show my girlfriend, and then I happened to find this. I thought that you had to like dig into the rock, and I'm like, there's no way I'm ever gonna find this. But no, it was much easier than that. It was just hidden in the water, and the freaking Latias site was there, so that was super sick. My girlfriend found the Latios site, so I actually traded with her. I gave her the Latios site, and I took the Latios site because I prefer Latios of the two. So I thought that was pretty funny. Here is me killing a pillager to get his Totem of Undying, because if you know, you know. Here's my first battle where she was thinking I was talking about Glalie when I said, what should I name Alakazam? So she wanted to name me the name is Glalie Panda. I was like, alright, but yeah, I think I caught this Panda. I had two Glalies now, but this guy was like level 55, so I was like, I want him. But anyways, yeah, I came to this pillager outpost, killed the pillager, got the Bad Omen, and if you know how to summon Zacian, you actually require the Rusted Sword and a Totem of Undying. So I did so with the intent to start a, whatchamacallit, a village raid. Here I'm spamming Pokeballs. I hate having to wait for this shit. I'm just like, yo, let me catch you. Hopefully I catch it on this turn. I don't know. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Okay, nice. Mega Glalie, that's another thing. For some reason, his sprite in the overworld is a Mega Glalie on the map, I mean on Zero's minimap. But anyways, here's the village raid. Here's the most important part. Boom. I killed the, not Vindicator. What the heck are those guys' names? I don't even know what they're called. Not Vindicators, or are they even, I don't know, the wizard dudes. Killed his ass. I actually got 2 totems, but I only showed that first clip because we're only using 1, so whatever. But yeah, I had all these diamonds to make armor and swords, and, I mean an axe, and we had all these enchantment books from the villages as well that it was really nice. Like, it was pretty helpful going to those villages. So definitely loot the villages and look for the enchantment books if you have the Cobblemon add-ons mod. But anyways, here are the instructions for the Zacian monument. Here we are. No more dilly-dallying. Let's get into the core of this episode. It only took me like the entire video, but hey, that's okay. I think this was like, this is what people came here for. This is what I was here for this episode. So, as you can see, hopefully this will probably be like the thumbnail. I don't know. It was pretty dark in here, so it's kind of hard to get like a good pick. But Boom, you put the rest of the sword on the left, ton of them dying on the right, and holy shit, there you go. Zacian just runs right at you. I don't know what that was about. I thought he was just gonna run outside for a sec. I was like, bro. But I went right into the battle with him. Not looking as cool as his like sword form, but I went for the quick ball. Obviously, you gotta go for the quick ball. I thought he didn't spawn at level 70. He spawned at level 60. So I gave Ruben all my EXP candy for like no reason. So that was a little dumb, but that's okay. As you can see here, I just go for a, what do I do here? I think I go for a flamethrower, but I started getting really paranoid about burning him, so I believe I switched out eventually. But as you can see here, do a decent chunk. A good enough chunk where I'm like, yeah, I need to go do one of those again now, again, like in the red zone. But this thing was tough, not in the sense of like battling. Yeah, it did a lot of damage, but for my first legendary battle, it was a good wake-up call as to what the catch rates will be like. I'm not sure if I included it on the video. I thought I showed it somewhere, but I crafted a bunch of Ultra Balls with our Apricorn farm. And as you can see here, there's a ton of gold. I don't know if y'all saw that in the background. There's a ton of gold to farm here. So I stole all the gold after I whooped this guy. You'll see that. But anyways, I sent out Robert here, and I think I totally forgot to paralyze him. Yeah, I went right for the catch. I was being stupid. The whole reason I sent out Robert was to paralyze this guy. So I went for the Ultra Ball here. And I found this function. Look, if you click C, at least that's my bind, you can zoom in, which is super cool. I had seen other people doing it. I had no idea how to do it, but it like gives you this like cinematic, like slow camera effect, or it like just looks better. So I like to do that now when I'm like catching Pokemon. I'll just zoom in. Yeah, that's pretty much all there is to that. But for some reason, Robert turns the other way entirely when I'm paralyzing this guy. That's okay. But yeah, we're gonna go for an Ultra Ball here. We'll zoom in. This thing is pretty stubborn. But if you've been enjoying the episode thus far, I know it's going to be a tad bit shorter because I sped up a lot of the clips this episode, so it's less redundant, less boring. I like Cobblemon to always have something going on. So for my clips, I want something always happening. It's easier to record in the moment than like planning something, because then I would be recording for like over an hour. You know what I mean? So that's why I started recording with just no audio, because it's just like quickly clip the moment, do a voiceover of it later. I'm preferring that kind of content for this kind of game. Let me know what you think. I think it's more enjoyable. I think it's more productive, to be honest. And yeah, I don't really plan on changing anything as of right now in terms of just like the format of my content. But I'm having a lot of fun playing this game. Like I said, I'm wondering how the next updates are gonna roll out with like my current world. That's something I don't have to worry about for a very long time though, because like I'm sure that won't come out for a long time. I know the next update coming out in Cobblemon is the riding update, so I can remove the riding add-on, and essentially I think you'll be able to ride like every single Pokemon now, as opposed to just like the ones that are in the add-on. So I'm wondering if like Garchomp, for example, I see people riding Garchomp, and Garchomp is fast as shit. I'm like, I want to do that. Like, I'm wondering what the fastest Pokemon will be in the game. But you can ride Corviknight, for example, so like that's pretty cool. But there we go. We caught Zacian. It's not over quite yet. I wanted to show his other form, which, as you can see, you retain the Rusted Sword. You do lose the totem, though. I have that other totem. I could get a second Zacian, or I could save it for Zamazenta, which I probably will do. It's probably smarter to save it for Zamazenta. But yeah, here's some gold there. And then there's some more gold straight ahead. So I was like, holy cow. Oh, and then I think I'm like, oh, I just realized I wanted my Zacian out. So sent out Kaiju real quick for no reason. But look at the helpful little smartphone. I highly recommend you download this mod if you don't have it already. It's pretty great. It gives you a handheld PC, healing machine, and ender chest. So just really cool. Sent out my buddy Ruben on accident. As you can see, I suck at sending out Pokemon. It's pretty simple, but I don't know. Anyways, so if you crouch here, I thought you had the right click. You have to crouch. Give it the Rusted Sword, and boom! There you go. Looking freaking dope, man. So our first legendary. I want to use a full team of legendaries because I think that would be super sick, but that also takes away from Mega Evolution, which I've been working so hard for, so it's like I'm kind of conflicted on that. But for now, we'll put them on the team. Looking really cool. I'll send Kaiju into the box for now. I just want to have like legendaries on me, because I feel like in this kind of world, or like an exploration world, when you have legendaries, it shows that like you know how to adventure, like you're a real adventurer. So thought that was sick. Stole all this gold, and that pretty much wraps it up for this episode. So if you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like. Let me know what you think in the comments. I really appreciate the support, guys. I see y'all supporting the vids. I think we're at like 100 views for the last 2 episodes. Hey, 100 is more than one, man. That's 100 people in a room, for example, all sitting down to watch my video.